What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo, and you know what we're here to talk about. We just had the ending of the Los Angeles Lakers game against the Denver Nuggets, and this is a perfect opportunity to bring up why I think that Russ is not the problem necessarily, but there's just a bigger systemic issue with the Los Angeles Lakers. The whole roster construction is just bad, just bad. This whole team is shooting 25% from three. They're shooting less than 25% from three. And let me just pull up the numbers real quick, just so y'all know I'm not like lying about this either, because I don't really care. But just look at the numbers, man. Like they're not good on offense. They're actually pretty good from two, which is kind of crazy. But they're shooting less than 25% from three. What? This would by far be one of the worst percentages. Like they're by far the worst shooting three point team that we've ever seen in the NBA. And if this were to keep up, like let's say they're below 30%, I don't think that they're going to be below like 40, or I don't think that they're going to be below 25% the whole year. But I do definitely believe that they're not going to be around 32%, nowhere close, because it's looking like some of these guys just forgot how to shoot. But let's just look at this game. Now, first off, one thing that I was very excited about was that Russ was not playing. Now, you may be like, oh, why don't you want to see Russ play? I'm not a fan of this team, first off. And two, I wanted to see how this team looked when Russell Westbrook was on the floor. Honestly, it looked pretty much exactly how I thought it was. Like, not the best. Now, first off, we do want to talk about something. LeBron James definitely did not try the hardest in this game. And even a guy like Anthony Davis, who did, I would say, put like pretty much his whole heart on the line, because he really did want to win. I don't think he necessarily was the best either, but he did at least try. And that's what you really want to see. However, there are several different problems with the Los Angeles Lakers that we could talk about. So, also, if you hear a dog, I'm sorry about that. So, first off, I think we could already tell just by looking at over here and over here. So, is there one that's sorted by position or height, actually? Let me check something. So I got it right here. So let's just pull up some of these little things real quick, and we'll just get into it. So I don't think you guys realize this, but right now this team has essentially no power forward. Like outside of Anthony Davis and Gabriel, like they have no power forward. And I'm not sure if Gabriel is really able to, take up those minutes, because right now it's looking like Anthony Davis and LeBron James have to take up pretty much all the power forward slots. And while that, I don't think that that's necessarily the bad part. I think that the bad part is that they have so much room occupied for guards. Pretty much everyone's 6'7" and under, that they just don't have enough wing players. They just don't have enough, kind of Marcus Morris's more so. Maybe even a Drake Crowder. I think that they could probably make a Drake Crowder trade, but yeah, looking at it, they just don't have the wing depth that a lot of these really good teams are having. Especially when we look at the Los Angeles Clippers, who are pretty much only wing players. They really do want, like, they really have pretty much all the wing depth in like Los Angeles. Like, look how many 6'7" players that they have, 6'8". Now, there's a second problem with the Lakers, and that's that they have no center too. You may be like, oh, well, they have Anthony Davis, they have Thomas Bryant, and they have Damian Jones. Now, at least for Damian Jones' sake, I don't think he's the best. Like, of course, the coach does not think so either. I think it's Darvin Ham. Yeah, he coached the Bucks last year on the assistant side. But even them, bro, like these guys have not been getting minutes on this team. Thomas Bryant is, of course, injured, so he can't get minutes. Damian Jones isn't really the best option. So now that just leaves Anthony Davis or Gabriel. And we already discussed Gabriel's still not getting minutes. Now, what does that mean? The three is pretty much going to be like a guard lineup. It's pretty much going to be an all guard lineup. Then LeBron and I think it's Anthony Davis. I don't know why I blanked out there. But I think another problem is I don't think David Harm or Darvin Ham is really constructing the lineups correctly. I think that, well, let me cut him some slack, because first, he's a first year head coach. But second off, I think that the whole roster construction is just pretty bad. Even if these guys are all like 6'7", 8", players, I still think that they would still have major chemistry problems. Let's get into it here. So Scottie Pippen Jr. First off, he's probably not gonna play that much, and I'm not sure if Max has actually played that much either. Yeah, some of these guys have only been playing like a minute or two. And again, Christian Dunn, Austin Reeves, Patrick Beverly, like these guys just don't fit well because they're not volume shooters. We could even just look at some of their best years and they still were not volume shooters, or at least in the way that LeBron wants them to. Look, he's only capable of shooting like 5 threes a game. Right now, he's shooting like 4 threes a game, but it's like at a really, really bad clip. And I think that he's not getting necessarily the best looks either. We have a guy like Austin Reeves who already didn't shoot the best from three last year, and he's just taking a little bit of a dip. I think a guy like Kendrick Nunn, again, I think this is probably more so because he just hasn't played much over the last year. But yeah, also, I don't know what happened to his knee last year. That was really wild. But yeah, they just don't have the players to really put up that much threes. And that just put them in a really bad position. Also, if you watch my short, you could kind of tell like where I'm gonna go with this. And this is where I kind of bring up my biggest problem with this roster. This roster can't shoot for shit. Like, this roster is like one of the worst shooting teams that we're ever gonna see. There's only 2 players who are shooting above a 40% clip. Matt Ryan has only played 2 games, and he's only like been in the games for like 15 minutes. This is probably garbage time in the Warriors game. And other than that, Austin Reeves is the third highest shooter at still below 30% clip. What are we doing here? We know the success rate of LeBron with 3-and-D shooters. Even if he doesn't have like the best 3-and-D shooters, as long as they're able to shoot and or defend, you're at a great point of the roster construction. But at this point, we just don't see it. Not only that, but they are not the best when it comes to turnovers. They are not the best when it comes to efficient field goal percentage. They're also not the best when it comes to free throw rate. So they're not even like making the best free throws. So it's not looking good. Like, it's really, really bad. Now, you could say that, oh, this is going to change, but let's bring up another problem with the Los Angeles Lakers that they're going to face, like, right now. All right, so this is their upcoming schedule. Out of the next, I'm pretty sure this is 13 games. They are playing against the Suns, the Brooklyn Nets. They're playing against the Sacramento Kings, who I even think they are a better roster at this point. Los Angeles Clippers are going against the Utah Jazz, who are obviously having a stroking hot start. Pause. They're going against the Cavaliers. Also, I'm going to the Cavaliers game, not the one against the Lakers, but the one against the Clippers. So be ready for in live content. We also have the Utah Jazz. We have the New Orleans Pelicans. We have the Denver Nuggets that they have to face again, and they already took a loss here. So looking at it like this whole stretch is going to be hard because I only see them winning maybe 1, 2, 3 games, maybe 4. Like, these are the realistic ones. The ones that we've seen, like this team that we've seen thus far, I don't think that they can win against any of these games. Honestly, if they're playing the way that they're playing, I don't think that they're probably going to get like an L streak that we've never even seen before in the NBA. Like 16 L's in a row. Oh my God. And that's not even talking about when they go against the Milwaukee Bucks, when they go against the Washington Wizards, who are also having a decent start, Cleveland Cavaliers, the Toronto Raptors, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Boston Celtics, the Pistons again, the Denver Nuggets, the Phoenix Suns again, the Washington Wizards again, the Sacramento Kings again, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Dallas Mavericks, and the Miami Heat, and the Atlanta Hawks. And the Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks again. It's like, bro, this team is gonna go through hell this next couple of months, bro. Like, what are they supposed to do? And then they're supposed to go against Memphis? This team may collect like maybe 5 dubs by Christmas. Maybe. There's a good chance that this team is in the gutter. Not only that, but remember, they don't have their pick this year. Let me check if I can find their pick, but they don't got their pick this year. So essentially, they don't have their next pick for this year. This is actually a year where Russ expires, but yeah, it's not the best. owned, but Pelicans have the right if they forego a pick. I don't know. But yeah, nah, it's looking really, really bad for the Los Angeles Lakers, man. It's looking really, really bad. Now, if there's one thing that I can say, it's that Russ's contract has a good chance of actually benefiting them near the trade deadline. Now, this is very pretentious. This is very, very pretentious. This is something that I don't think that is gonna happen. I think that this is definitely out of the pretty much spectrum when it comes to possibilities. He has a $47 million like contract right now, and you could be like, oh well, I don't think any team is taking that up. The only team that we know that has had an offer is the Pacers, and that's only under one condition, and that's because they essentially just have. Hold on, let me just mute this real quick. They essentially just have the cap space to actually make this deal work, and they're willing to just bench him. But the thing is, a lot of these teams that are probably going to be rebuilding that have like decent people on the roster, they may actually go for this deal simply because $47 million in cap space in a really good restricted free agency, that could really go a long way, especially for a team like the Detroit Pistons, even like the Orlando Magic, and maybe Denver. Wait, hold on, let me check something. Sorry, I don't went on a tangent. Apparently, the Denver Nuggets may have like a top 5 pick this year. Now, it's still very early on in the season. Where is it? So, if any of these teams like land up in the lottery, bro, there's a good chance that they're going to Denver, and that's actually pretty cool. But back onto the topic. When we talk about Russ's contract expiring, when we talk about how many teams could actually really benefit off of it, like the Kings, Rockets, OKC Thunder, of course. We just have a lot of teams that maybe could just set like their whole franchise around in terms of restricted free agency. Now, what does that mean? They have to get rid of their own contracts, and they would have to, just take Russ on for like maybe a couple months, and then have him just leave for somewhere else. Now, at that point, I don't know if if they would be able to give up super duper lucrative assets, especially because at this point there's no really other bad contract that could be traded for Russ. Maybe even for like 6 months. I don't know. But even if we don't really consider it like that, there's still a good chance that we're going to see Russ at least be being trade talks. Now, there is still one like clear destination that has been vocal about wanting Russ, and that's the Pacers. The whole deal will revolve around Buddy Hield, who's not been shooting the best, but he's still a shooter that could still maybe shift the roster from one side to another. Already 20 million. Now we have a guy like Miles Turner, who has not played a single game thus far. La di da. Where is he? Where is this dude, Miles Turner? There he is. We have a guy like Miles Turner, who's also a very lucrative contract. Now, this actually does help with their depth in terms of the center position and even the front court position, the wings. So I think that would be pretty solid. I think if they were to get another guy, let me just look. Maybe James Johnson, but I don't think that they're really interested in that. I think maybe a guy like Daniel Tice is very lucrative to them. So I think a trade package would look like this, plus maybe TJ. No, I don't think that they want TJ McConnell. I think they'd probably go for a guy like O'Shea Brissett. Maybe. Maybe. I don't think it's like the most confident deal, but I think that you could maybe just make this one out. Maybe even Jalen Smith, depending on how things go. Then again, you don't really want to throw your chips out like that, especially when it comes to just a trade that's not really going to work out for you in the long run. So yeah, Gogo Badaze, I don't think that he is going to really do anything. So it'd pretty much be just these three, and then they give up Russ and a couple picks. But the thing is, I think I would do this if I was a Lakers at least. At least look at how you could maybe get a free agent or two. But if not, you just go for this. So, yeah, I think that this is going to be it for me. I don't have really high expectations for the Lakers. They are in the mud, and I don't think that they're going to crawl out. So, It's been your boy Nehemiah, aka Neo. I hope you guys are having a great one. Do not root for the Lakers because they're just ass.